This is Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans with me, Cheryl Burke, an iHeartRadio podcast. I am so excited, you guys, to get into it with our special guest this week. He is by far one of the most recognizable pro dancers, I would say, on Dancing with the Stars. He is both a fan favorite, I would say, and someone I consider family and a lifelong friend. Super controversial. You know, that's just part of his whole spiel, but that's who he is. And we of course, obviously can't get enough of him. Let's please give a warm welcome to my friend, my former co-star and family member, Maksim Chmerkovskiy. Maksim.
Cheryl.
Hi. How are you?
It's going great. How are you?
Well, I just moved 16 years of my life.
What?
I know. And there's another room or two. You guys are more than welcome to spend a weekend here at the Burke and Isabella household.
Don't tell us. The shot will come.
Oh, and the dogs, because you have a dog.
We have a dog now. Yeah, we have a lot. We have one of everything.
Well, not a girl yet, right? Not a girl yet.
Not a girl yet. I don't know. It's it seems like maybe I'm not the guy.
Aren't you going to try again?
But it's like all fingers point at just the Chmerkovskiy man not being able to make girls for some reason.
You have Peta. Peta's a handful. No, I'm kidding.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, I have.
Okay, wait. I'm going to show you something. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I knew you were going to show something like that. Come on.
How, you didn't know anything. You didn't know anything. You didn't know shit.
I didn't. No. I didn't know what you were going to show, but I knew it was going to come.
When was this, Max? When was this?
This man with long hair.
Do you remember where this was?
Wait, yes. This has to be one of those Latin Revolution things.
No, this was it was a red carpet event. Like, that's Izzy Pick.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. No. That's my Dancing with the Stars already hair.
Yes, that was season 2. Look at my jeans.
Season 2.
No, but like, can you look at my Marciano furry vest? Like, that is insanity.
I like it. Why are you hating on
How about my hair? What kind of friend were you? You didn't even say like, yo, the Dumb and Dumber haircut's got to go. You didn't even say nothing.
First of all, we all went through questionable looks. It's not, I'm not going to hate on you. I should be then, pointing fingers at yourself at the same time. But yeah, no, totally. Listen, I will own everything that I looked like. I do have to say, I felt like maybe I was, I came in kind of like exactly who I thought I wanted to be. And then like just haircuts and this and the other. And so we fell into like trying to maybe please, maybe kind of like,
totally.
Overanalyze or whatever. But I feel like that. But I feel like that picture was like, the core, sort of like the nucleus of who the person is. Like you could see it over there.
Yeah, this is like us. This would be like us, like in a toddler, like a toddler. This would be like our.
Oh, this is that picture of like Friends. The Friends, the show Friends, when they're like, it's because they're always in that title picture. They're always like from that original photo shoot when they're all young.
How's the new baby?
He's great. He's so cute, and he's now filling out a little bit more and growing, and she's in the next room. And
let's talk about your Instagram. It's very entertaining, I must admit. And I didn't know you were so into Instagram and making all this original, beautiful, funny content. So
Peta and I sat through pandemic with we actually got more tired while sitting. This is not to like be funny or anything. We were exhausted coming out of pandemic. There's a lot of stuff that we did virtual with dance studios, and all of the stuff that Leah helped us with, by the way, and credit to be due. But Peta and I were like, we're gonna lose our mind if we don't have some consistency. Mm-hmm. And we started doing online workout classes. So, that was as much for us as it was for everybody else, because we weren't building a YouTube channel or something. We're just putting out stuff that here's us in the morning. Yeah. Our neighborhood was wild. They were like, we were like bumping music in the backyard, crazy, yelling at the phone. But it was nice. It gave us purpose. It gave us some things to do. And then it parlayed into like, what are we doing? There's some things that people like, you guys are funny. I'm like, we've always known that, but we've come from a bit, not old, but transitional media world where it's like, here's your job on TV, this is on screen, this is what your job is. We were transitioning to everybody with a phone has a media outlet, right? And so now we live in the world where it's like, if you do have a social media, what do you do with it? And so now in my mind, in my being and where I am, in my circle of friends and people that are like-minded, we've all sort of transitioned to, if I don't have this relationship with the fan, with the person, with the people that follow, with the, maintaining kind of like what your narrative is. And, I don't want to be misspoken for. I want me to be presented in the way I want to present myself. So this is the opportunity it gives me. If I'm off TV, if this is no longer my business, I don't have social media. I don't have Instagram. I don't have a desire. It's a chore to me, and I do this chore because we have a foundation of people that follow, that we, that why else entertain? Why else put on shows? Why be a dancer? Why be an artist, right? So that's the trade-off. Outside of that, my love, if I'm a plumber, I don't have an Instagram account. And this is not to say that this bad marketing and bad business. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not waking up in the morning thinking of content.
Right.
We decided.
Wait, are you sure? Because these are really great ideas.
But we decided that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it in a way that's beneficial and fulfilling, right? Also involving, and again, it gave us back the purpose of consistency of doing stuff together as a couple. You can parlay into relationships, you can parlay into how we're trying to, manage our life together and marriages and parenting and all this stuff. But, this is part of that. We do stuff as a family. We do stuff individually. This is what we do as a family. It was like, it normalizes all the reasoning behind.
No, totally. And it also makes light of a serious situation or situations. And I think that is refreshing to watch. And it also gets a chance to see, like, I know you guys are freaking funny. Like, I get it. I've known you since I was a little girl. But, like, I also, as a couple, like, Peta's hysterical. Like, I always, like, cry laughing with her.
She's interesting. And yeah, listen, she's a lot of things people don't realize. She's also acts like this, this daisy flower, softy and all
girl
that.
Next door, Aussie girl.
Well, yeah. But she can drop everything, jump in the car and run after them. The guy was trying to, one time my car was getting robbed and I ran out.
What?
And long story short, my car's getting robbed. I run outside and they slowly walking in casually into their car, ready to pull away and looking at me and they're like, what are you doing? You can't even catch us. Anyway, so they sit in the car. I'm like running kind of sort of like 10, 15 steps. I'm like, what am I going to do? Run in the night into the hills of Sunset, right? And then I turn around and Peta bolting past me in her car. She jumped straight in the car, went straight after them. And I'm standing
in her
there.
Uggs.
Yo, in some sweats or whatever, like some Uggs or whatever.
Definitely.
And I'm standing like, and I wasn't concerned like, oh, wow, I should drive after her. And like, I was concerned she was going to literally ram the car off, off where I was more concerned for them. She comes back. I was like, what were you thinking? Did you catch up? She's like, I caught up to them. I looked them straight in the face and they got really scared. And I was like, I know you.
My God. She is gangster. She's a tough cookie.
That's what I'm saying. Don't mess with Peta. It's...
So this is all like Dancing with the Stars, obviously, content here, but more than that, it's also just like, I've clearly been a part of the show for a very long time, as have you. And there's a lot to discuss in a good old, grateful, PG way. But we also want to talk about stuff that the audience, and there's, back in the day when we used to get Super Bowl ratings, just saying, there was, people want to know what happens behind the scenes. And I think it is just good old clean fun that we're about to have. Okay.
Yeah. Let's have some fun. By the way, I keep thinking about you. I'm like, this is amazing. It's perfect.
I know it was really scary though. Like I'm still grieving the 16 years of this. Hence why I have all these pictures.
No. This is scary, and people be like, "Oh yeah, it's scary," and then it's scary because
but
it's
good
Cheryl.
Scary. Yeah.
It's just scary because it's you, and you're like this hermit. They're like, "This is my shell, and it'll be my shell forever, and I'm not coming out of that shell."
And now this is my new shell.
All of a sudden, it's a completely different place. I'm shocked. I'm like, I'm taking time to assess this. I'm like, wait, she's not at all like in the shell, like not even in the same neighborhood. I thought you moved down the block.
No.
But this move, it's like you might as well be in like China. Really.
Thank you. I was just gonna say China.
Yeah, it's a continent away. So yeah. No, listen, enjoy. It's.
Thanks. But do you think I'm gonna meet anybody in my closet? Because this is the problem. Like I haven't left this house.
That's fine.
But we'll talk about that later. That's for my therapist, actually, in a few hours. So, okay, I want to talk about your Napa show that I still haven't seen. Is it still going?
Yes. It's been such a warm feeling to be accepted into Napa community, to be welcomed, to be also praised for the type of art that we brought to town. Mark Swanhart did an incredible job writing the show. It's a wine tasting immersive where we show you what the wine tastes like rather than the kind of like the version of tasting notes where you read this beautiful, artistically written, description of what the wine is. So here we are showing what that is. And it's been a great self-fulfilling experience for me because it's a lot of modern, it's a lot of contemporary. It's not to be geeky about this, the what we do, but it's all of a sudden a lot of not ballroom stuff for me, and especially for me. Val and I have different tracks. We're not really the Val and the Max. We are, but it isn't a Val and Max show. This is a completely different project, and we, starting it like you and I have done Forever Tango. So it's that type of process with somebody else's story, and it's been incredible. It's been also amazing to just the cup is so full, man. I opened
your vodka line.
I opened Napa, and the next week I had a baby. We had Rio.
And
so as really flying and in the middle and right after pre-production, and the sore and the body hurts and all this stuff. And I was like, I wasn't even on fumes. I was excited. It took me about a month and a half, 2 months before I realized I'm like, yo, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. My body's tired. I teared up at some point. I'm like, wait, get yourself.
That's good. That's good though.
You won this. You love this. You're happy to do it. And so, I'm excited about a lot of things.
Yeah, I could see that you're definitely glowing in a good way. And I could tell that, yes, life is busy, but, you can tell just family comes first, obviously, with everything and all that, the ups and downs of even just, creating, the second little baby. And I'm just really, truly happy for you. I'll never forget Peta telling me during my retirement farewell dance that she was pregnant, and it was obviously hush hush. But it's so emotional for me too, because it's like I've known you guys for so long, and I feel like I've been on the journey though from a distance. But I know how much you really wanted this to happen, and I'm so happy for you guys, really.
I think it's until when you could be, we can all be hard, we can all be hard people, and somebody else's life is not our life, and we keep it moving. We read the headline, oh, the so-and-so, whoever they are, is having, problems with, getting pregnant. And it's just kind of like same story over and over. Once you meet someone and you hear there's something in their eyes where this is not something you read, but you see the person, and the story becomes a lot different. Even before we were going through our stuff, that's how I realized, that TV interaction is not really an interaction. You don't really get to know the person, and you don't feel what they get to say, because not all of us express ourselves the same way we do when it's one-on-one. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it because I saw Peter go through some crazy stuff. We had a couple of nights that were just wildly depressing and then turned into not. And, we thought we lost Rio along the way. She had the exact same things that looked and seemed like the other 3 times. And, again, it's her story to tell, but we thought of it. She had, had this something happened in the evening. I mean, it was just wild, the amount of stuff that's coming at you when you in the middle of this process. And the thing is that like you're looking at it, you're like, shit, I would have rather dealt with it when I was in my 20s,
Right.
because it feels like you're so overwhelmed with just everything else already. This is like in addition to, and at some point, it's not really like your plate is full. You got another plate and it's already also getting full, so there's just a lot to
process,
manage. But once you sort of at where we sit today, if we were to analyze, it almost feels like, damn, I mean, how resilient is the person, and how able is the human body and mind and soul and heart and, to accept and to take on and to keep taking on and to keep taking on. I mean, I'm not perfect. Neither is Peta, but we make a freaking good couple, I feel, and I feel like this is why we're able to be here and, in the position that we are. Shit, man, it's been a couple of difficult years,
But you're solid, obviously. I mean, that would break a lot of couples, obviously. So
that's what it feels like. It feels solid. I like that word. I feel like, we've gone through shit that's like, we no longer question each other. We no longer question us as a couple. We never really have, but it reinforced many things. And a lot of people go like, things chip away. It didn't feel that way at all. It felt like it was maybe making us closer. So it's not like now, I feel like now we're this unit, you know what I mean? And we have an incredible 6-year-old growing up. He's saying things and he's got my back. It just feels like here we are. Now we're really cooking. Now we're really making humans. And
how is Shai with Rio?
He loves it. He loves it with the puppy. We thought that, Peta and he had allergies and we had to get, a puppy that wasn't, it was hypoallergenic. I don't think he is, to be honest with you. I think he's literally like microdosing them out of allergies, but he is amazing and Shai. You hear you like, when you hear, a child and he's like belly laughing and it's just him and a dog, and you're like, this is incredible.
Sounds like my life. It's just me and my dog still. Anyway, I'll never forget being there at your place. This was like before my divorce and separation. And I remember asking you guys just questions about relationships in general, right? Like, has there ever been any jealousy between the two of you? Like just basic questions. And no, it just was obviously, it could be like that, obviously, but because of your open communication and just how you guys are together. And I find that something that I aspire to find. And I'm happy for the two of you, really. So
I'm very inspired for you to find that too. I listen, me.
I refuse to do a dating app. I'm not doing that.
Don't do it. That's not it. I do believe the timing. I do believe in the timing of it all. And I do believe in some kind of it's not a circle, it's not a oval, it's some kind of a shape but essentially it comes back around to another perfect window of opportunity. So, I wish you more than the best and I know it's coming, but with us, it was
in my closet. He's right here. Closet number 1.
That's it. You'll be all right. But I'm like, look, we've also been privy to something very unnatural, to a lot of people that go through our lives.
Yes.
I'm looking at my kid right now and I'm like, how do I want to raise him? And everybody's like, oh, you want him to dance? Maybe. Do I want him to dance the same way? I don't know. Do I want him to have the same process and communication in so many different people going through his life and making friends. And, at some point I was exhausted from the amount of people that I had in my life that I actually really tried to communicate with. I would lose a couple of friends here and there. I deliberately lost maybe 3 people, 4, because we were just growing apart and disconnected. But what do I want for him? If I could get this kid to be just perfect, smart, able,
There's
kind.
no such thing as perfect, Max.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, give him as much as I can before letting him into the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
before you feed him to the wolves. Yeah.
But then again, I don't want him to miss out on things because I've gone through some stuff, right? And I'm, scarred, or I have some kind of scar tissue, in my soul. But like, I want to have his back, but I also I'm just like, let's just wait a little bit. They're
Let's
like,
play soccer. Let's just play some soccer and baseball. See what you like better.
His tennis. He loves tennis. He loves his soccer, but he's like low key. He doesn't know yet, but he's got like a mean backswing. He's actually better backswing than his front. He can whoop on Uncle Val's butt anytime, at the moment.
That's amazing.
He's getting there, yeah.
I also get asked this question, though I have no babies, but if I were to even have one, that requires me having sex, I think, though. But other than that, I could always adopt, I guess. But anyway, the point is, I get asked the same thing, like, would I have my kid dance? And my answer used to be no. But because of the trauma I dealt with. Now, that doesn't mean that their kid is going to deal with that, right? Obviously, everyone has their own experiences. So I have now come to the conclusion, my answer is, we shall see. Don't know, so be it.
Between 1.5 and 3, I promise you 97% of the time, your kid is going to be in some sort of gymnastics class. So
or arts and crafts.
And fall into the exact same process that we fell into, because you first don't look for like, oh, I want him to be a space astronaut.
Right.
No, you look for to do with your child, because you like, I want him to have a life that now I realize has to start from this sort of tiny little foundations, right? So you don't start by thinking, what do I want him to be? Those are not job parents, right?
But it's also up to the child. I'm sorry.
It's also up to the child. And if he grabs a goal stick and hits the ball and you see that it's going straight, you don't go, oh my God, it's Tiger Woods. You go, let me just have this stick and the ball be in a grasp so he can grab it and keep hitting it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like how we feel. I do believe that you need to think about just filling in their free time. And once you think about it and you go, this is how much time I got to fill in with things, that's when you be like, what's important to me so that I can have that interaction with my kid, right? You're not going to take your child and say, hey, go learn Japanese.
No.
I don't know what he's saying. But if he's going to go and do, I don't know, tennis, soccer, arts and crafts, because you and he can do it or she can do it together, that's when you're going to be like, oh my God, this is dope. And listen, it's, Pasha and Daniela are training their daughter in rumble walks probably at day 6. I'm assuming, but this is kind of what I feel, right?
Yeah.
Peter and I, dance-wise, we're like, shush, look, here. You're going to dance because we feel like it's a
Do you want to wear a V-neck? Do you want to wear a V-neck?
Do you want to take somebody and give them a dip and do it the right way and not hit anything, on a table?
Yeah, right.
You want to look a little rhythmical salsa. I don't want him to be a world champion ballroom.
Or hip hop or breakdancing, or there's so many art forms.
He loves his hip hop. Now he does all this crazy stuff, goes down on the floor. Yeah. Look, he's not going to miss out. I promise. We're going to try things.
I would go towards breakdancing. It just is in the Olympics.
Babe, he's going to be 6'4". He's going to be the longest. He's going to be a big dude.
6'4"?
Just look at this guy.
You are not 6'4". You're not 6'4".
I'm not, but he's going to be taller.
Listen, I mean, Peta's pretty tall for a woman, actually. Compared to an Asian woman. That's for sure. She's like...
Average it out. Look, they do this thing where they're like, oh, let's look at his teeth. Yeah, it's going to be 6'4".
And let's look at his feet, and let's look at his hands, and then look at his, bunch of other things. So anyway, that's the one thing that my mom did with me, though, I have to say. She put me in every single extracurricular activity you could possibly think of.
Can I tell you that I think about your mom a lot for some reason? Because Napa is very close to San Francisco.
Yeah.
We have like 3 people associated with that town, and you and your mom are 2 of them. So
my mom, did she come see you? She said she was going to go see you guys.
No idea, but like I actually have this Frisco head.
Wow, you're a Bay Area native. Look at you.
I am. Listen, I definitely love the cuisine. You know what I'm saying? I'm
sure at Napa, yeah.
With the valley food.
Wait, has Artem and Nikki, they've obviously come, right?
As a matter of fact, next week, our final week run in Napa, we present Brie and Nikki's wine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you have the very first vodka ever in Napa? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's the very first vodka in Napa, but I came out with a vodka. And it's
too bad I don't drink anymore.
It's not too bad. It's good, babe. Don't do it. Go for juices and smoothies.
That's amazing. Where can people find your vodka before I move on?
NapaValleyDistillery.com. And the reason is because he has a beautiful process of sending alcohol directly to consumer, so you don't have to find it in the store. NapaValleyDistillery.com, and my vodka copper is right there. Or you can just Google
on Instagram. You have an Instagram too, don't you?
There's an Instagram, Church Copper. You can literally Google Church Copper.
Wait, how the hell do you spell that? Like, we'll figure it out though.
Tetya.
Okay. Got it. You heard him. You heard. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I'm kidding. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so let's talk about love on and off the dance floor. Yeah?
But because why not? Right?
Because that is the natural way we're going to just slowly just switch the subject. Okay. Right. I should work on that. Anyway, I'm new to this podcast thing. Okay. Not really, actually. This is my 3rd one. Okay. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So partnerships for you, obviously, and me, obviously, partnerships that form on a show. Do you feel like why, first of all, for those people that have never ballroom danced before, why do people get so intimate? Like, why do you think celebrities fall in love first with the dancers or vice versa?
I mean, there's 2 things. Number one, celebrities always fall in love with dancers.
Right. I know.
Or try not to, it always, because if you're given a good enough part, well, again, always, I shouldn't say that because some dancers are just not falling lovable with.
Would you like to mention who?
No. I'm just mean like you can be completely not into the person. And we've had partnerships. We've seen partnerships that just did not work. Like these people should not have been in the same room together.
I can name a few.
Most of the other time, there's that type of sexual energy because they walk in and you standing there with like Sasha with his chest open and abs. Val with his shirt open and abs. Max with his V-neck to like,
smelling like Old Spice.
This, that. I mean, we were just obnoxiously out of this world and people wouldn't understand what to do with us. And then after a while, so it would start with like, the jokes. Oh, it's so European. Oh, why is your hair long? Oh, we're going to have to spray tan here because I'm not from this world. 2 weeks later, those weird people. 2 weeks later, they're like, spray tan me. Extra time, I want more rhinestones on my shirt.
Nadej, paint me some abs.
Yeah. Paint me some abs. Like they were like, okay, let's do what they do because they realize, so that's how it looks better in the format of the dance floor. You know what I'm saying? It's like for what you're on a dark wood floor. You're with these kind of lights. You're doing this kind of dance. It has to be this kind of dress, this kind of shirt, this kind of
dry humping.
Like. You're just making it look better. And then you look at it and you're like, that's weird for life. You're not going to walk out in a costume. But anyway, so long story short, why they fall in love with us, Kirstie Alley rest in peace. She said it. I've said it many times. It makes total sense. She's like, you're so flirty. I'm like, me? We were in some break, and she was like, you're so flirty. I was like, what? You're crazy. And I'm walking around nervously pacing, trying to think of how to make this woman look good on Monday. And we're like running out of time. She's not getting it. And it's just like, oh my God, what else can I do? And in the midst of that, she's like, you're so flirty. I'm like, Kirsty, please, not right now. I'm begging you.
You're like, I'm just needing you to do a cha-cha lock for God's sakes.
Yeah. And then I'm like, you know what? What do you mean? Why would you say that? And she's like, well, you know where you're looking. Look where you're placing your hands. What? Where am I placing my hands?
We're like
she's
football players.
Oh,
we fucking spank each other all the time. It
it's
doesn't
not
mean
your
nothing.
butt. I'm placing my hand on your center of gravity where I can move you. I'm helping you. Because if I place it on your shoulders, you're going to keel over and fall. Let's go, boo. Let's move. I'm doing you a favor. Anyway, it's that. It's the misunderstanding of close proximity. It is why my son is in dance, not just in some hip hop contempt. No disrespect. Great for the body, great for development, amazing for just dance
flexibility,
style, self-expression. But ballroom dancing, close proximity, understanding that, my kid is not uncomfortable holding, another child's hand. She's not uncomfortable standing in a couple together doing the cha-cha, So for me, that's as important. But for a person that comes in with zero of that, they look at and we're all grown adults. And by the way, another reason why is because the whole show feels like summer camp.
Totally.
Even if you go home or whatever, like the whole show is you 24/7. You're not with your husband, you're with me, or not with your wife, you're with her. And you're doing things where you come together, these two people that just don't know each other, and they're doing this. Monday night happens, and God forbid it's a cha-cha or rumba, and a bang, some Argentine tango, paso doble, something passionate you were trying to do. You did it, right? This dude forgot that he's got a wife and kids. He's like, oh my God, this is the best person ever. I'm like, no.
That's only if you get a good score, though.
Yeah. You get a bad score. It's like, this is the worst partner in the world. Why do I get hurt? So
Totally.
Look, it's the summer camp for adults, and that's the only way to describe it.
I think you're right, though. It actually, if going back to Shy, and this is the one thing about ballroom that's amazing, is it introduces you to this world of cotillion in a way, but in a way where you're more interactive. So it teaches the man how to open a door for a woman, or just ask her to come, if she's on her ass and she fell. Like, I had to teach AJ McLean.
Just give her the
I
hand
had to teach AJ McLean.
Down the stairs,
yes.
Just normal stuff. Like, here, can I help you? Off the bus.
Right.
I see guys that are in couples. Like, I see couples. He'd walk out, grab his phone, and walk out of the door. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, and she's behind, like getting her bag and picking up another bag, and then her baby, and and like this. Look, I might.
There's no awareness, none.
I've seen people that are just like, she's behind me with everything, and I'm in front doing this. And I'm like,
Like, I had to teach Rob Kardashian and AJ McLean, like, okay, so you dropped me, right? My butt is on the floor. So maybe you should next time be like,
up.
Can I help you up? Instead of just like, and then walking away. And it's like, there's little things that you would hope it was being taught in schools if they went to school or whatever, but it's not. And so that's the good thing about dancing. But you're right. Like, what we do, people are not understanding that it's not, I'm not acting. Obviously, we're not acting when we dance.
Yeah. But also they don't see the other side. So they're like, oh, it's always fall in love and blah, blah, blah. Peter came crying one time. This was a long time ago. I wouldn't tell who the partner is. It's not the point, right? But she came crying because there was that. It was a lift and a drop. And then he literally stepped over her and kept
I know what you're talking about.
And I was like, bro, like what? Like, first of all, just when you see a body and it does this sort of unnatural thing, you're like, are you okay? Is everything good? It's just a natural reaction. Mm-hmm. When you don't have that natural reaction, bro, you're not my person. I don't care. I said it a lot, like, even if you don't, God forbid, missing limbs, it's who you are in reality. And our rehearsal time would show a lot of reality about these people. And it would most of the time end in rehearsal room. And then we have to stand there, right? And look like this person is who they not always are, and not really say it. So for me, that was kind of like where the disconnect would just completely go, right? So if you're already not that nice and not that polite, and you're all these other things, and I have to stand there and defend your ass, like,
Right.
I don't know.
Like, so for example, so yes, so with that comes lots of headlines and all this shit, like, like this. So clearly, you know, this is the thing with being a part of a show for so many years.
The fact that it's you, me, and Derek, it's the most hilarious
Which
thing.
one is the love and lies and which one's the dancing?
No, but it's like, and those are the three you picked for that headline.
Of
Like
course.
us, first of all, you know, I've not dated anyone on the show. Maybe, you know, there was one for a couple of weeks, you know, but that's it.
I mean, dating and hooking up are two different things, in my opinion.
I never hooked up with anybody.
No, I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying you.
On Dance with them, like my partners, bro, nobody can claim that. One, but that's it. And it was just to be factual, because I don't want to lie, right? So for me to be on that was such a proud moment. And then to read the headline,
I know, right?
Well, for this, me, what did I do? All I do is gotcha.
So you're the love, then. You're the love. No, but you know why we were on that cover? Do you remember? It's because we were all coming back. We took a break.
Was that it?
Yeah. And then we did that very dramatic opening number. Do you remember?
But did you take a break?
Yeah, I was coming back from NBC when I did I Can Do That.
Yeah.
But that was the reason why we did this, because it was like, they're back. Dun dun dun. And then it was like the feud.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, okay, cool, fine.
You're like, great. Let's
dance. I thought, I remember. I thought I was celebrated be coming back, and I was like part of this sort of massive
drama.
Headline.
Do you remember? Okay, first of all, I want to give a shout out to, Len Goodman's family. And Len is obviously someone who has been a part of the show for a long time. And how did you take that whole thing?
I felt sad, obviously. I felt really sad because of the second end of, and again, as I'm growing up, there's some people, I've never really lost anybody in my life. So until then, a grandma and then a grandpa and then another, someone close, a surrogate, a friend, so like a lot of loss, and it came through so much, so close that by the time Len came around and the news of that, I actually teared up. It was emotional. It felt bad. It felt like, it doesn't feel like we're all going to be here forever. So, I can
not. Yeah.
That perspective, but it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like, okay, rest in peace and go with that, because you saw him in a certain state. To me, he's very clear, vibrant, and strength, sits straight and that guy. Right. So that's the image with which I said goodbye. And thanked him for being a part of this. I thank you the same way. I thank Tony. I thank people that were on the show in the beginning. And, we've worked really hard, no matter what anybody says. Mm-hmm. We worked really hard. We did a bunch of other stuff, but the work ethic spoke for itself. I know I did. Mm-hmm. I know I put in effort and time into, choreography in the beginning of all these opening numbers and all these like Tuesday show numbers. Maybe that's why I had some negativity within the production, because we had to deal with production in the beginning. I wasn't trained on that. It wasn't an employee-employee relationship. It was people that were part of creating the show, that we were all working out what what that connection looks like today, right? So today, it's a show that's on its rails. They know, everybody knows their position, who speaks to what, who delegates, and that's not how it worked in the beginning. It was
how did it work?
It was like, who wants to choreograph? We're like, and then the half of us are like, no, not him. We don't want to do that.
I just missed that, how real we were, though.
And everybody was like, and then the production's like, well, why not him? And we're like, because they suck at choreography, and we don't want to.
And I was one of the sucky ones. I was new at all this stuff. Like, that's not my passion.
I'm not saying you at all. I felt ballsy and a little more comfortable, and I was like, I'll do it, and when I'll do it, I'm going to play with it. And I play around, and you'll start in the balcony and you'll do this and you'll go there and whatever. And so my communication with production, they were like, here, you tell us what you want to do. Right. And so that's how it started. And then we're talking about like X amount of seasons later, they tell us, here's the format within which we want you to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. That's awesome.
That's the thing, is like we had no guidance.
It's a no for me, dog, because I don't want to do it that way. But for the sake of the production and consistency and being amazing at like, you know, doing a live show, I don't know what other network and what other production can claim such effective live show production for so many years.
It's a machine. And it's a machine that it has continued to try to, you know, rebrand themselves. But now, do you feel like the show is heading still towards that way, or is it coming back to the way it was with Conrad Green coming back as a showrunner?
I don't think anything ever comes back to anything. I think everything is always evolves, and it has to change and shed some skin and, you know, move on to a different form and format maybe or whatever. But somebody told me one time, some executive, they're like, you know, the show worked because it was never the coolest. You know, we were never number one. You know, there was always American Idol. And then when it became number 3, it became uncool. And so they had to shut it down. You know, with the age, you know, this reality show, not so cool. And, you know, so ups and downs kind of let everybody to get off the air at some point. We were steady. Number 2, 3, that like favorite pastime for these, like that certain demographic. But you know what happened? Demographic that was laughed upon, the grandmas, right? In the beginning, right? Who did they watch it with? Their grandkids. Who's watching this now? Because it's the only thing they've seen in their life, and it's reminiscent,
nostalgic.
Of grandparents, and it's when she was going through some things and they were there. It's when she was going through her high school days and was crying and tuned into blah, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going around seeing these young moms, young because, you know, we're all the same age, like mid-30s. And they're like, oh my God, I've been watching you since I was a little girl. This is my favorite thing. Now I'm doing it with my daughter. I'm like, this show will never go away.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, look, the show is a derivative of another show that in England stayed on for 60 years plus or something like that. Like, it's been there forever.
60 years, 60?
I think so. Yeah, it was
That's
like a
insanity.
Production of you know, not Strictly Come Dancing, whatever it was called. Maybe it was called Strictly Come Dancing. But anyway, Dancing with the Stars came as a virtue of that. They took that program, smacked celebrities in it, did whatever they needed to do. Yeah. And now here, can you imagine we're sitting here talking about 50th anniversary of Dancing with the Stars?
No.
In 2056.
I mean, I don't know. Well, are we going to that party? We'll be going to that party.
Hold on a second. 2056.
I can't. I have to live in the present moment. That gives me the...
She's like, I can't think that far.
I can't even think that far.
56. I'm going to be...
You're going to be dancing with your shirt off still. Shut up.
I don't want to say that number. I'm going to be 76 years old.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's just a number. A couple more questions and I'll let you go. Thank you for doing this. Honestly, I appreciate your time because I know you're so freaking busy and I'm so happy for you again. But I want to talk about, I'm going to do this thing with you at the end. Right. It's like the fast-paced questions, okay?
Rapid fire. Let's go.
Okay, wait, quickly. What is your take on why pros are asked back on the show versus not?
I think it's just a complicated formula of production looking at who's the easiest
Really?
Yeah, I also believe that there's just a very clear, you know, pairing of the celebrities nowadays. You know, it's a lot easier if you're a producer to have a pool of 30 dancers to pick from to 12 positions and just maintain that kind of pool. Because if you only have 12 people that you keep bringing back every day, I feel like as someone who put on shows in the past and produced things in the past, it doesn't make me feel safe and secure. Right. You take that hat off and you put on the hat of a dancer, you're like, these producers are dicks. Why can't they just, all this complicated stuff. But once you grow up and you think ahead, you know, the way they think, you're like,
it's a business.
Yeah.
And do you think like the pros now though they may not be all like competitors from back in the day when it comes to ballroom, clearly this show has evolved and it's not just ballroom. Do you think that they have like a solid team now?
I don't know. I can't say that because I'm not sure what the show evolved into at the moment. I think it's the transition. No, I mean, I'm just got to be honest. I think it has to transition to a finality of like, this is how we do things. A couple of seasons ago, here's all the wardrobe for the entire season. You don't have any say in what you're wearing. And by the way, the entire wardrobe is bland and kind of like just same thing as last week, but different color. That doesn't work. Okay. This is a ballroom, do the ballroom stuff in the ballroom. Otherwise, rebrand it and let's dance on, concrete in sneakers. Right. So that has to go away. We have to come back to some stuff, but we don't have to come back to like, ballroom of the 50s and the 40s. We could stay modern and do this. So I think there are items that, Conrad and his team is still figuring out, and they're going to come to a conclusive decision what the show is, what it looks like, and how we can maintain that. Because the jumping back and forth, it doesn't work. Not for the fans, not for the core, not for me, not for you. It just doesn't work.
And also with Conrad, though, I think that's the amazing decision, whoever made that decision, because there is some sort of a familiarity and he is a fan.
Yeah, and also like he's familiar with us and the business of this dance and the world that this is. And so he can probably navigate better some changes than someone who's not as familiar and says, here, this is how we're going to do things.
Right. Are you going back to the show in any capacity this season?
Who?
You.
On Dancing with Stars?
Correct. Yes.
You would probably know. You know everything.
Is Peta coming back?
I don't know.
Does she want to go back?
Peta does her thing. Does she want to go back? I think so. I feel like she's.
Peta. I'm kidding.
She's not here.
I'm kidding.
Of course, everybody's like, are you coming back? I'm not coming back, obviously, because I'm completely not coming back. And I'm also not part of that production at all at the moment. As I have some other opportunities and, look forward to other things finally without thinking about, but what if, but maybe, and all this stuff. Peta is obviously in a different place, in a different world. She's got her things. She's got her Peta Jane that's blowing up. She's got, 2 kids and a dog, so she's got a lot of things to think about. We're doing well with us, social media and stuff. And so, we're happy with anything that happens. We just want to know ahead of time, which is never the case. It's all kind of now and last second. And we just want to know what we're doing. My thought process is this: important to least important. The number one importance right now is the fact that I have a 6-year-old that's going to first grade tomorrow.
Oh my God.
That's it. Everything else is such a distant second and beyond that it's like, it'll come at me. I'll give it a moment of my thought and I'll deal with it. Right now,
oh my God.
Some questions I can't, I'm like,
is he nervous?
Shush? No.
Yeah.
He's excited. We did a good job. I'm going to bet Peta
did a great job.
And maybe me too, a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Congratulations, by the way. I mean, time is flying freaking fast. So enjoy every single second.
Thank you.
Okay. Rapid fire questions. First I was going to be like, you can't name the same person twice, but whatever. That's just not going to happen. So we're going to just name only one celebrity per question. Okay. That you've danced with, not anyone else. 15. You got 15 to choose from, huh?
Let's do it.
Okay. Most challenging.
Oh, geez. I would say Kirsty because it was twice and a lot.
Most fun.
Oh man, here we go with the
quickly. Come on.
Times I would say I have to say Kirsty. I'm sorry. It's like
oh my God, I should have made that rule for you. You can't. Okay, most talented.
Most talented. Okay,
Kirsty.
This is Kirsty. No. Most talented that I danced with would probably. This is you talk about dance. Specific? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would have to say it was Brandy,
Most awkward.
Most awkward?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Misty Matrena. Love you, Misty. Actually, probably the only celebrity partner that I actually keep up in touch.
Oh, that's good. That was one of my questions, or it was. Okay. Most annoying.
Do I have to?
Yes.
I can.
Just quickly. I'm going to move on fast. Just say it.
The most annoying.
Come on.
But in a good way or in like.
Sure. Whatever you want to interpret it. It's your perspective.
I don't know.
Come on. Who was the most annoying? I can name a couple that you've danced with.
Most annoying, I would have to say. Oh, shoot.
Should we skip? You want to skip it?
Yeah, I just feel
most
like
chemistry. Who did you have the most chemistry with? Quick. It's easy.
Most chemistry I had with Melby.
Worst chemistry.
Hope Solo.
If you had to apologize to one of your past celeb partners, who would it be?
Vanessa Lachey.
Most competitive.
Melby.
Most insecure.
Ooh, son, bitch.
Oh wait, I know one. Actually, I do know one that you dance with.
I would have to say at that time, only, specifically, and in that moment, rightfully so, because of everything that transpired, I would have to say Erin Andrews.
Oh, interesting.
Just my personal experience.
You want to change your answer?
Take back the Erin Andrews part.
Yes, I would too.
Get Erin.
Who should have won?
Huh?
Who should have won that you danced with? I can name a couple.
Melby.
Yeah. Who were you most intimidated by?
Layla Ali. No, because she actually said that. She said, "Look, you need to sit down. I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna do this piece until I'm ready. Then I'm gonna call you, and you're gonna show me the next part."
She's gonna call you. You weren't there?
No, but this is before we had the studio. We were rehearsing everywhere, and I would rehearse with, I think, Dave West. I remember that. But anyway, we were rehearsing in Santa Monica, and we both would lay down and take a nap. And then she would wake me. I cannot make this up. The rehearsal was 12 hours.
Wait, Dave West was the producer on Dancing with Stars. He was our part of the field team.
I'm not sure if it was Dave, but it was Dave.
It was you and a producer.
Yeah, it's not wrong to say Dave, right? No. So anyway, me and my producer would lay down and go to sleep, and she'd be doing this until she figured it out. And then when she's figured it out, she called me. I showed the rest of the routine. And to be honest, she didn't leave room for negotiation. That's why it was intimidating. She just said it. It's like it's going to be like. I love
that. Isn't that a great partner? Like, I mean, talk about focus.
I did. No, listen, we went all the way. I had incredible moment in that season of Dancing Waltz for Muhammad in the audience.
It's beautiful.
And with that, who can say that?
Is he still alive?
We're going to continue with the podcast.
Who did you have to Google?
Who did I have to Google? I had to stop her on our meeting. First time we meet each other, I walked into the room. I had no idea who she was. And she started talking, and I was like, you know what? I'll figure it out. I've done this before. I'm going to ask a couple of things like, why did you want to do it? She'll say it's this and that. I'll be like, oh, actress. She'll tell me her name. I'll be, oh, it's from, or she's an athlete, whatever. I come up and I had no idea. She starts talking. I have no idea. I'm like, I'm sorry. I got to stop this. And so I literally did this. It was Melissa Gilbert.
I knew you were I forgot you danced with her.
Off camera. She's like, oh, bless your heart. I was Little House on the Prairie. I was a little girl. I was like, come again now?
What? Yeah, I haven't even seen that thing.
She's like, what? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just got to this country in the 90s. I have no idea who you are.
Okay, worst fight. It's only a one-word answer.
I would say Hope, but yeah.
Who do you still keep in touch with? You already answered that. So, ta-da, you're done.
Yeah. Woo!
Wipe the sweat off your forehead.
It was going there for a second.
Thank you, Max.
Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl.
So good to see you and talk to you. I wish you well.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Make sure you guys follow us at Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans on our Instagram handle, and make sure you comment. Let me know who you want me to interview. What do y'all think? Let me know.